And delighted to say I've got Tim Sherwood alongside me to look ahead to that game. Fantastic game, isn't it? Man United against Man City. Well, actually, I called him Tim Sherwood. It should have been Mystic Meg, shouldn't it? Because nobody predicted Liverpool beating Watford beating Liverpool, should I say, last week, except one man. Let's watch this.
That game they got tomorrow, Watford, in the bottom three, the other managers, they're playing Liverpool. Liverpool haven't been beat all season. In their minds, they'd be like, this is a write-off. Yeah. Well, they're behind. They're not going to come out of the bottom three, so we can make ground on them. But I'm telling you, it's a game like that what Liverpool will lose this season.
And they did. And they went and lost. Tim asked me to play that over and over again on the loop.
Okay, I didn't hear the last bit. To be fair, I've given enough predictions and they haven't come true. But thank you for that, guys. Anyway, no, I just felt... I watched the game when they played at Anfield, when it was Nigel Pearson's first game.
Played really well.
And they did really well. And they could have been a few goals ahead. But they had the threats. I think they've got real men. They've got good goalkeeper on his day, Foster. They've got real determined bodies at the back. They play with a nice structure. They've got pace. Delafeu unfortunately got himself injured. Sarr on the other side. Deeney back now. They're a different proposition when he's back. I just felt they got nothing to lose. Liverpool will go there. If they switch off for a minute, this Watford side could hurt them, and it proved to be true.
And it's exactly what happened. But what about this one then? The Manchester derby. Man United against Man City. 5th versus 2nd. It's a bit unusual, really, I suppose, looking at that and saying United outside the Champions League places, and Man City won it the last couple of seasons. And way behind Liverpool. What are we expecting from this one?
I'd have to say an improving Manchester United as well.
Yeah.
For the last, I know they've had good result at the Etihad. They play a nice counter-attacking style. But I believe, it's easier now to pick a Manchester United team, especially at the back. With Shaw, I think he's been outstanding. You got Lindelof, you got Maguire, you got Wan-Bissaka. Almost picks itself now. And Fernandes in midfield has been a revelation. He is a true Manchester United player, Matt, as we would recognise him from years ago. Yeah. He's got that swagger. You'll stand next to him, look across in that tunnel. He's got a Manchester United vibe about him. He wants to receive the ball. The boys are seeing him in training every single day. He's a reference for them. Wherever they get the ball, it's like, when can we give it to Bruno? Where is he? Let's try and find him. He take it in a telephone box. He manipulates it well. He threatens the goal. Good at dead ball situations. He is a player who will improve, but he's hit the ground running, and you have to say he's improved them massively.
Yeah, I agree with that. If we look at the two teams, difficult to predict really what United will do, whether they'll go with a back four or a back three, because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has played both against Man City. But in terms of personnel, what do you expect with this side? And what do you expect he'll do in terms of change? This is the team that he picked against Everton. Yeah. Do you expect him to change much?
It's hard to tell in the final third. At the high end of the field, I think, because of Rashford's injury, cannot really predict what he would do there. Greenwood's done okay, and he's got that pace. We talked about the counter-attack, breaking quick. There's no reason for them to change the way they're going to play. And Martial drifting off to the left and coming inside the pitch, as Greenwood will on this side. And that means Fernandes can play in his preferred position there as a 10 without a recognised number 9, but they play loose and they look to break forward, really incisive with their running when they get the ball and getting up in support. And then they've got Matic, who I think has been excellent, and McTominay back in with good legs, and the improving Fred. I think there's no need to adjust the back. De Gea, big problem at the moment. You'd know where you're going to leave him out, don't get me wrong, but he's made 7 mistakes leading into goals. Too many mistakes, uncharacteristic. I think you just stick with him, he will put it right. World-class international goalkeeper. But this is the formation I think he will go with. And Fernandes then is in that little sneak position where if they win it, they can just feed him the ball into there, and then he finds the incisive pass forward. We pretty much know what Man City will do.
Hampered a little bit, United, aren't they, in terms of their counter-attacking plan, particularly with Rashford missing, and Dan James as well, because he's so quick. Yeah. And we saw him earlier in the season do so well against City, exploiting the spaces that they left. Yeah. He's an injury doubt as well for the weekend. City, interesting. This is the team that they picked for the cup final. We know the formation. That's not going to change, is it? It's going to be 4-3-3. We're pretty sure about that, aren't we?
I think so. It's just the personnel.
Because he can make 6 or 7 changes and it still be just as strong, can't he?
Yeah. It's whether you bring Bernardo Silva here near for Foden, who was excellent in the cup final. Guerrero, maybe Silva, Jesus comes in for him.
Let's make some of the changes that we think will definitely happen. So, goalkeeper, Bravo's not going to play.
Absolutely,
is he?
No.
We'll find Edison. So we'll bring Edison into the team. Back four. Walker plays, yes.
Walker will play.
Fernandinho plays, yes.
Yeah, Stones is a worry. Another mistake leading to a goal last week.
Let's take Stones out. I think Otamendi might play, actually. Centre half. Left back, Zinchenko or Mendy?
For me, Zinchenko is the best left back they have at the football club.
Yeah.
Not Mendy. I don't think he's good enough in possession to play for a Man City side. Okay. I think Zinchenko is. We showed that last season. He was absolutely magnificent in a title-winning season last year. I think if you're going to have a lot of possession, Man United will suffer without the ball at the weekend. They will dominate possession as they do against everyone. And I think Zinchenko, especially in the wide area, is a better option for him.
Foden, probably harsh on him. Man of the match in the cup final. Probably won't play. Hasn't played an awful lot in the Premier League, has he, this season? But we know this guy will definitely play.
Yeah.
But where does he play? Does he play in behind, in a number 10 position? Does he play off the right? Does he play high up? Yeah. Where does he play?
I don't, listen.
You're not bothered, are you?
I'm not bothered. I mean, Pep would say, it's not about the formation, how we line you up at the start. It's about principles. If you find yourself back there and you find yourself out there, it's just filling in holes. Someone drifts in there, someone might find himself there. De Bruyne might burst forward, Aguero might just sit in there. They've got a rotation, they've got a fluidity amongst their play, and that's what makes them so good and so exciting to watch.
Okay, so Zinchenko's the best left back. Who's the best centre forward, Aguero or Jesus?
Aguero for me. I mean, if you need a chance, you need to score. In big games, Aguero is the man for me. Sometimes he might spring a surprise and play two of them. He's done that for a few games this year. You know, Jesus up with him. If I'm in Man United's team sheet, if I'm Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I really do not want to see Jesus and Aguero in that side. I think it would be a massive plus if Pep was to go with that. Who knows? He's so unpredictable in his lineup. But as I say, the fluidity's there, the quality's certainly there. The defence is their problem, and that is where Man United possibly can exploit him on the counter-attack. And with the guile of this little fella who's come into the front now.
United have beaten City twice this season, though, haven't they? How have they done it?
Well, they've done it on a counter-attack. They've sat in there and they've broke very, very quickly. I think they've had a rub of the green at times, you know, the way they've done it, but their defence have got very tight, not letting players turn on the edge of the box and picking their passes. They've squeezed. Lindelof and Maguire have squeezed right up behind. They found the ball and they found a pass into midfield straight away, and they've left bodies up the field. Even with this freeze frame, what we have here, you would see, Matt, that...
Well, Rashford... Lingard, Martial, Dan James. That's your front four. I mean, that's pace.
And Man City are in possession. So they're brave. They've been brave with it. They're not coming all the way back, but they're not staying all the way up. So these players are redundant here for Man City at the moment. They're not doing anything. They're not locking on. They're not locking on here or here. And they probably paid the price for this. Because when you let pacey players get a run at you, then it causes you a massive amount of problems.
That's what I was saying, though, about United perhaps not having quite the same pace on the counter-attack this weekend, because they haven't got Rashford and they haven't got Dan James.
Nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, Greenwood's a brilliant finisher, but he's not got great pace, has he?
He could bring Dan James back in and leave out Bruno Fernandes if he wants to stand next to me and be a pundit next week.
He's not going to do that, is he?
No chance.
Let's be honest. Let's have a look at it, though. So United win the ball back.
Great pass. See the pass. They're not only winning the ball, it's finding the pass, and now they're bursting forward.
Well, and also space. That's where they actually do leave a bit of space, don't they? City in those wide fullback positions, they do leave that space open.
They will do that. They do that for a reason, because it suits them. It suits them when they're in possession, because the back players can get in contact with the midfield and push their team up. They will always play like that. It's the characteristics of every Pep Guardiola side. But on the flip side, the pace for pace is what you want to see. Grass in behind, so you can knock it and run and use your asset, which is that sheer pace. And they had this in abundance. And Martial bursting into there.
You've got to have willing runners, though, haven't you, to do it?
Absolutely. But they love that space, that wide open space. And everything went for them on the day, I felt. I think on some... Man City weren't at their best. The ball's just breaking. See, they're surrounded here, Matt.
But look how high City are, and look at the space that they're leaving.
But that is a ricochet into one Man United player. Martial was highest up the field. That is more luck than judgment.
Yes, but as soon as it goes into Martial, you can see, look, front foot,
Yeah.
Front foot, and we're off.
Yeah.
Aren't they?
No, that's good.
You can see the three of them. They're all ready to go, aren't they?
Absolutely. Absolutely. But this, from Man City's point of view, and Pep Guardiola, even he look at this, he'll be freezing this now, and he's showing the guys, this is not good enough. You have to be winning that ball. And he will try and put it right. He's a stickler for detail. He will be looking at when they've got beat twice by this team, and he will be telling them that cannot happen again, and we need to snub this out early.
So will he be a little bit more defensive then, do you think?
No, I don't think so. No? I don't think he'll blink. I think he blinked against Real Madrid. I think that Jesus for 20 minutes played left back. I think he tweaked his system, but I think against Manchester United he won't. He'll make them aware of the threats. But these guys are not silly. They see Man United. They know they've improved, but they also know they haven't got Marcus Rashford.
Just going to highlight him as well, and how important he is to City.
Huge.
With that pace.
Huge.
Kyle Walker.
Huge.
Because you saw there, he was miles behind. He caught him up.
Yeah.
He definitely plays, doesn't he?
Well, that's what he's got in abundance. Zinchenko is no slouch. I think defensively, central partnership, little bit slow. I mean, Ferrandino got some pace, but Otamendi or Stones, that's where you can exploit them if you're Manchester United.
And will we see this at Old Trafford, where City say, do you know what? We'll go 2 for 2 at the back.
Yeah.
Will they do that?
I think you will see it, but what I think Pep will be saying, quite honestly, is, all right, 2 for 2, but in.
Tight.
In. Tight. Smother them. Don't let them breathe. Don't let them breathe in there, because they're going to find there all of a sudden they find passes in here, and that is not good enough. That is wide open space what we're talking about, where they can get their head up. So you need to be in. You need to be in, locking onto any of. When that ball comes out, you need to be smothered. You need to be on the players, because if I give you any space, you can knock that in behind me and you'll run in the space what we talked about, which is wide open in here.
Yeah.
Look at that space. That is where they're going to thrive, Manchester United. So they have to smother the attack as quickly as possible, stop it at source. And that's what Pep will be telling them.
I mean, it's dangerous, though, 2v2. And particularly with Walker high up, because pace-wise now, Fernandinho, Stones...
Yeah, but they all get back. They all get back.
True.
But this
penalty. This was a penalty, wasn't it, on VAR?
Yeah, no, it wasn't given at the time. VAR quite rightly give it in the end.
Now this is City attacking, and this is their defender. Look how deep, how high, I should say.
Yeah,
they are. That's all 22 players now in vision.
Yeah, but where would you recommend they be? They cannot be back here. That's too deep. I'm of the same opinion as Pep.
What? I
want them in there, stopping it at source. I want them there. There's no point. You know, we haven't got Ederson here. Ederson's probably only about here on the halfway line. That's the way Man City play. That's the way Pep wants them to play. On their day, you've seen them. 9 times out of 10, they murder teams. This is a dangerous side they're playing against, because it's a local derby. The emotions are going to be high. They've already been beaten twice. They need to get their own back against Manchester United. They need to start this week. But from the league point of view, it's a much bigger game for Manchester United as it is for Man City.
Oh, definitely.
Slip.
They get a bit of luck, a slip.
A little bit of luck, but they're on their way. Look at him here, busting a gut. See how he made the ground up there, opening them up. They're on their way forward. Look.
Yeah.
It's the intent. The intent is there to burst forward, you know, and they're all coming to join.
But they've still got a base. They've still got the base, haven't they?
Still
Back
nice
four,
and
still
solid.
in place, one in front.
Absolutely.
So that's okay.
Well, one thing is sure, they're not going to change. Their formation might change a wee bit, but their principles will be exactly the same. We sit in, we suffer out of possession, and we pounce when we can.
It's been so, I mean, we could just show so many examples of this from United, though. It's exactly how they played.
Runners forward again. Ferrandino tries the professional foul. Doesn't pay off. Still got numbers back. Man City, but a shot at goal again.
One long ball.
Bursting.
Win the second ball. Like you say, though, City have got bodies back, haven't they?
Yeah.
Even in this situation, they've still got their back four well in place. The back four is still in place.
Yeah, and they're protected in front as well.
Yeah. So it will be interesting to see what United to do selection-wise, though.
You see it there. Look at Man United now. You would say the same principle. I would say these what they're doing. Yeah.
Well, the fullback. Yeah. Well,
it's ended up in the net. But I want one of these in here. Squeezing. You know, it's a surprise not to see the City players actually standing up here. spreading his defence, and I think that's what Pep might look at in this game. Give them something more to think about. I know this one ends up in the back of the net and they're all on their way to celebrate, but just before that, they wasn't locked on. If the ball was to come out to here, then they've got a problem because they've not stopped it at source.
Let's talk about Bruno Fernandes. Yeah. I know you're a massive fan. You've already said how big a fan you are. Has he changed the way United play at all, do you think?
I think he's enhanced them. I think that they keep...
Different?
He gives you that impression.
Though?
He is different because he's got a swagger. Yeah. He knows the right pass at the right time. He knows when to keep possession, but he also knows when to be incisive, and he's not scared to play that forward pass. Sometimes when the young boys, especially McTominay at times, a little bit safe for me. Yeah. Matic is a little bit safe where they want to play little square balls here, 5 yards ball, but he's encouraging them all now to pass the ball forward. They hit that forward pass. And if you're a striker and you come off your defender and he's giving you the balls when you want it, rather than when they finish with it, brilliant. It's what you do. That's what you want from your midfield. And he sees that pass before he gives it. He's always done his preparation in his movement. If I'm going to receive the ball off you, Fernandes has done his movement and he slips the ball in behind lines, but also picks up areas behind midfield where he turns himself and then the strikers are on their back.
Which we would call half cheat position, really.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like it doesn't work, because he does get back and he does track back and he makes his challenges. But he's clever, isn't he? When they win the ball, he's in that sort of half-cheat position to go the other way. If we have a look at it, this is against Everton, and he highlighted there, you see he's sort of already, all right, am I going to try? No, I'm thinking, what if we win the ball? Yeah. What's going to happen? He's got good pace, he's good energy about him, hasn't he?
Good legs, good energy, pops up everywhere on the pitch. He's no restriction, but why would you restrict a player like this? No restriction to anything in his game. So he's in this little sneak position. He doesn't get himself marked. So in preparation, Chelsea have the ball now, but he's making sure when we win the ball, I'm in a position where I can receive it. And when I do receive it, I'm going to check my shoulder, as he does. If you check him now, look at Fernandes now. As that ball comes to him, he checks his shoulder, he knows he's in space, opens it up, looks forward and plays incisive passes forward.
It's actually brilliant as a front player, isn't it?
Look,
when
check his shoulder.
Yeah, he's checked his shoulder. But as a front player now, you can make a run thinking, do you know what, we might get this. Sometimes they're making runs thinking, well, I'm never going to get that. If say that was McTominay, say it was Fred, we might not get this.
No. If that was, let's say for instance, that was Matic. Yeah, not so much now because I think he's being encouraged to pass the ball forward. What would Martial do? He'd probably stand still.
Probably look for it to feet.
Stand still, give me the ball, make it easy for him. They know this guy's got a bit of magic in his feet. He knows he's capable of hitting passes.
I like the fact that he doesn't stand still either. But he's played the pass, okay, it doesn't quite get to its intended target. But I like the way the intensity now about as soon as they lose it, go and close it down again. Can I squeeze up the pitch? And this is even actually this clip I think is an even better example of it. Again, on the half turn, looking forward, plays that pass, doesn't quite get there, but watch his reaction. Look, brilliant. This. I'm going to pause it there. If he doesn't do this, Reece James opens his body up, and he can play a pass forward into Willian. Yeah. If he doesn't make that run and go and get his head down, that's an easy pass for him. Open your body up, play forward. What happens? He goes and gets his head down, makes him play back to his goalkeeper. I think that's brilliant. This is Paul Pogba. I'm just going to pause it. Has he replaced Paul Pogba, do you think? Or are these two, do you think, can play together?
I think they could. I think they'd be magnificent together. I want Paul Pogba. He's back training now, or next week.
I think he joins in next week, apparently.
Okay,
he missed the Manchester derby.
So when he's back, I think he comes. I really believe, and the Man United fans will want to hear this. I believe, and I want to believe, that someone of Paul Pogba's ilk will come back with a professionalism, playing for the biggest club in the world, and want to prove, even if he don't want to be there next year, that he's a top draw player. And he would have been massively encouraged by looking at Bruno Fernandes coming to the club, performing like he has. Them two together with McTominay sitting in between them.
That'd be your three.
An unstoppable midfield.
So Pogba, higher up, as in a
six,
him and
1-6 and 2-8s.
Okay.
The 2-8s would be Fernandes for me, and then when Rashford's fit, they could take on anyone.
So you're talking David Silva and Kevin De Bruyne, really, aren't you?
Yeah,
Pogba and Bruno Fernandes.
But But Pogba's got that stature as well. You know, he's got the body to be able to put himself about, win the ball. He's got to be willing to do it. He can also help. He scores goals. We've seen him in the past, especially at the Etihad. I mean, he scored good headed goals when he gets forward into that box. He's got that physical presence to give something different. He might not have the passing range. He might, but I think he's got a very good range. Both of them together will be excellent in Man United's midfield. But McTominay's been a huge plus as well with the energy he gives them.
He doesn't necessarily do what Fernandes does, is play the pass and continue his run, get forward, squeeze. It's not necessarily Paul Pogba's getting that, is it? I mean, they pick up similar positions, actually.
Yeah.
Again, don't want to be marks, looking to get into space. Little bit of luck, poor touch. But he's like Fernandes, always wants to play forward. But he's not got that intensity about pushing up behind the ball, has he? Like we just showed with Bruno Fernandes. He's quite happy just to labour forward.
I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I think he's doing a responsible job.
All right, even in this situation.
Yeah, so, because I think I believes Marcus Rashford gets the ball. This is a 1-0 game where they beat Tottenham. Well, I don't think he knows that's Marcus Rashford. He's put him on 1v1 with Jan Vertonghen and the goalkeeper Lloris. He knows he can't affect it by running forward anyway, so he's just going to conserve his energy. You might be right, Matt, but I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I think he knows Rashford's 1v1 is going to end up with a shot at goal.
There's not many players, though, that can play that pass, are there?
He's seen it already before he even
he knew exactly what he was doing. Yeah. But he doesn't back it. What I'm saying is he doesn't back it up. It's not like he's played it, we'll squeeze up the pitch, we're all getting up. Look at him. No. This ball's in the back of the net. He's still not even in picture.
No, he's admiring the pass like I am now.
It's in the back of the net. That's what he'll be saying. And Herrera, it turns around, look, straight to him.
Yeah.
And Pogba's just about coming into... There he is. There he is, look. He's there. I can tell you he's there. There he is. So he's on the halfway line. He's on the halfway. But he is back shortly.
I really hope he comes back with that real enthusiasm to want to play for this club. He was an academy player at the club. Yes, he went away to Juventus. He made his name. He's come back to the biggest club in the world. Hasn't really done it on a regular basis. Yes, it's been interrupted with injuries. But for me, still a world-class player. And Man United can't have enough of him.
Yeah.